Some athletes bend the rules and some get caught. Others manage to slip through unnoticed. Suarez's infamous World Cup handball.
He's going to get the flick in, and Muslera, cleared on the line, and cleared on the... It is Abreu, it's the cheekiest chip.
Luis Suarez's handball for Uruguay in the World Cup is one of football's most unforgettable and controversial moments. In the dying seconds, with Uruguay staring down defeat, Suarez lunges and smacks the ball off the goal line with his hand, stopping a certain score. The referee doesn't hesitate. Red card, penalty awarded. But Suarez, he barely flinches, just a sly grin, like he knew exactly what he was doing. That audacious act allowed Uruguay to survive the shootout and eventually advance, leaving the world divided. Some call it blatant cheating. Others hail it as high-stakes brilliance. Regardless of the opinion, it's impossible to ignore. That single handball sparked endless debates, memes, and highlights, cementing Suarez's reputation as a player who blurs the line between genius and mischief. Football history will remember it forever, whether as heroics or outrageous audacity. Sterling's theatrical fall. Raheem Sterling launched himself into the air in a dramatic, almost cinematic way, as if a powerful blow had knocked him off his feet, though barely anyone touched him. The movement was so exaggerated that it looked like something out of a movie rather than a football match. Spectators were stunned, unsure whether to laugh or gasp, while the referee immediately pointed to the spot, awarding a penalty without hesitation. The opposing players erupted in frustration, shouting and gesturing, but the decision stood firm. This moment perfectly highlights how on-field theatrics can sometimes take center stage, overshadowing actual gameplay. Sterling's audacious display has since been remembered as one of football's most over-the-top dives, demonstrating that skill alone isn't always what captures attention. The drama can sometimes steal the show entirely. Instant comeback after apparent injury.
And then the ball goes in.
Some athletes turn football into a stage, and this moment is a perfect example. Following a minor brush with a defender, the striker collapsed dramatically, gripping his leg as if struck by serious harm. Medical personnel rushed onto the pitch, and the stadium fell into tense silence. Yet barely moments later, his team netted a vital goal, and he sprang upright instantly, racing to celebrate as if nothing had occurred. The turnaround was astonishing, almost magical. This clip showcases how some players blend strategy, timing, and sheer theatrics, turning even a minor stumble into an unforgettable spectacle for fans worldwide. Exploiting a defender's slip. In football, quick thinking can create opportunities even if it means bending the rules a little. Here, an opposing defender loses his footing while scrambling to recover, leaving a golden opening for the attacker. Instead of pushing forward to take a clean shot at the goal, the forward dramatically collapses, acting as if he had been fouled. Contact is minimal, almost non-existent, yet the referee is convinced and points to the penalty spot. The momentum of the game shifts instantly, favoring the team awarded the kick. This scene shows how cunning and theatrics can sometimes be just as decisive as technical ability. Fans may question the fairness, but moments like these prove that football is as much about mental games and quick improvisation as it is about skill with the ball. Cristiano Ronaldo's baffling fall. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of football's all-time legends, left everyone puzzled with this odd tumble. It's hard to tell what he hoped to accomplish. He twisted awkwardly, lost his footing, and dramatically collapsed to the turf. Remarkably, there was hardly any contact with an opponent. Was he hoping for a penalty, or was it just a misstep? Even the commentators seemed at a loss. It goes to show that even the greatest stars can have moments that defy logic, and this incident stands out as one of Ronaldo's most perplexing on-field moments. Suarez's bizarre bite on Chiellini. Then came one of the most infamous moments in World Cup history, Luis Suarez biting Giorgio Chiellini. Seriously, who even thinks of doing that? Suarez sank his teeth into Chiellini's shoulder, like it was some casual snack, leaving everyone around stunned. The absurdity didn't stop there. He rolled on the ground, clutching his own mouth as if he were the one injured, acting like Chiellini's shoulder had magically attacked him. Referees didn't see it live, leaving the stadium in disbelief, but the cameras captured every second. The fallout was swift: suspension, outrage, and a permanent spot in football lore as the sport's most notorious troublemaker. Love him or hate him, Suarez's antics often transcend normal play. This incident pushed the boundaries of absurdity, blending audacity, cunning, and outright chaos into a moment no fan of football can forget. Suarez's Champions League theatrics. Luis Suarez is pure mischief whenever he's on the field, always on the edge between brilliance and chaos. In this Champions League moment, he turns a tiny nudge, or barely any contact at all, into full-blown drama. Arms flailing, body twisting, in a theatrical tumble, he sells the fall to perfection. The stadium erupts, the referee doesn't hesitate, and Barcelona walks away with a penalty. Fans watching at home are left shaking their heads while half can't help but admire the audacity. Replays make it clear there was hardly any contact, but by then, the damage is done. Suarez has an uncanny ability to manipulate the tiniest moments, turning them into decisive, game-altering events. Love him or hate him, he makes football unpredictable. That dive wasn't just a foul, it was a masterclass in drama, cunning, and timing. Little fan channels Neymar's drama. Neymar isn't just a football superstar, he's also famous for his theatrical tumbles. His signature rolls and dives have become so recognizable that even youngsters try to emulate them. In this amusing clip from a youth match, a child exaggerated a minor bump into an elaborate multi-roll collapse, outdoing even Neymar's own theatrics. The fall was so over the top it resembled a scene from a slapstick comedy. Fans watching couldn't help but laugh, witnessing this pint-sized tribute. Moments like these highlight how much young players idolize their heroes, sometimes taking inspiration to hilarious and unexpected extremes on the pitch. David Luiz's playful antics. Switching gears to David Luiz, one of football's most colorful personalities. In the Chelsea versus Man United match, he is barely touched, then theatrically falls to the ground. He looks up, smirks at the referee, and can't hide his amusement. But he doesn't stop there. He turns to the crowd, throwing in exaggerated gestures like a WWE villain, fully mocking them while the opposing player walks off. It's cheeky, bold, and completely Luiz. Love him or groan at him, the man knows how to steal the spotlight. Moments like this remind fans that football isn't just skill, it's also showmanship. David Luiz's sneaky sprayline move. David Luiz isn't just about flair, he's a master of subtle mischief. In this moment, he spotted an opportunity with the referee's spray line used for free kicks. Casually pretending to adjust his footing, he slid the line closer to the goal, giving his team a tiny but valuable advantage. The referee didn't catch it, and most of the crowd probably missed it too. It's a clever, cheeky tactic that shows Luiz's brains alongside his theatrics. Moments like this highlight that football isn't just about power or skill. It's also about cunning, creativity, and bending the rules ever so slightly. Subtle hand trick to outsmart a defender. Not all clever plays in football are flashy. Some are so discreet they almost go unnoticed. In this clip, the player subtly used his hand to nudge a defender while pretending to shield the ball. The movement was barely noticeable, but it created just enough space to slip past effortlessly. No dramatic dives, no theatrics, just perfect timing and quiet intelligence. Plays like this prove that football isn't only about big, eye-catching moments. Sometimes it's the smallest, smartest gestures that completely shift a game's momentum without drawing attention. Precision and cunning can be just as powerful as pure skill. Ramos takes out Salah, controversial tackle. The 2018 Champions League final had countless memorable moments, but Sergio Ramos's taking down of Mohamed Salah stands out. Salah was unstoppable all season, slicing through defenses and leading Liverpool's attack. But Ramos intervened with a brutal, controversial tackle. He grabbed Salah's arm, bringing him down and dislocating his shoulder, forcing him out of the match. The incident completely shifted the game's momentum. Shockingly, Ramos didn't receive a red card, leaving fans outraged and debating whether it was a deliberate attempt to remove Liverpool's star player. Even years later, that tackle remains one of football's most controversial and talked about moments. 2 yellows, 1 red. Chaos on the pitch. One of football's oddest officiating blunders unfolded during this game. A competitor picked up a second caution, which normally triggers an automatic dismissal. Astonishingly, the referee completely overlooked the rule, allowing the athlete to remain on the turf. Seizing the unexpected advantage, he continued competing nonchalantly, without alerting officials or opponents. The crowd and players barely noticed at first. Only later, after receiving a direct red, was he finally removed from play. By then, several extra minutes had passed under his continued participation. It's a surreal example of how human error can produce an unforgettable, almost comical situation on the football field. Football has incredible talent, sure, but let's be real. Sometimes it's the outrageous, rule-stretching antics that make us jump out of our seats. Dramatic falls, sneaky handballs, insane flicks. These chaotic moments often steal the show. Which jaw-dropping, did that just happen? Play is your all-time favorite? Drop it in the comments. Hit that like button if you love football chaos. And don't forget to subscribe for more wild, unbelievable moments from the beautiful game delivered straight to your feed. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.